I never thought I would be the kind of person who checks someone else's phone. I always believed that trust was the most important thing in a relationship. If you trust someone, you don't need to spy on them. If you don't trust them, maybe the relationship is already over. At least, that's what I used to believe. My girlfriend, Emily, and I had been together for 3 years. We met in college during our second year. She was funny, smart, and had this way of making every boring moment feel exciting. For a long time, everything between us felt perfect. We moved into a small apartment together after graduation. Nothing fancy, just a one-bedroom place with old wooden floors and a tiny kitchen. But it felt like home. Every night we would watch movies together or order cheap pizza and talk about our future. I honestly thought she was the person I was going to marry someday. But about 2 months ago, something started to change. Emily began acting different. At first it was small things. She started spending more time on her phone. When I walked into the room, she would quickly lock the screen. Sometimes she would smile at her phone like she was reading something funny, but when I asked what it was, she would just say, nothing. I tried to ignore it. Everyone deserves privacy, right? But the feeling in my stomach wouldn't go away. One night we were sitting on the couch watching TV. Her phone buzzed again and again. She quickly grabbed it before I could see the screen. "Who keeps texting you?" I joked. She laughed nervously. "Just work stuff." But it was almost midnight. Who texts about work at midnight? Still, I told myself I was overthinking, until the night everything changed. It was a Friday night. Emily had gone to take a shower, leaving her phone on the kitchen counter. I wasn't planning to touch it, I swear, but then the screen lit up. A notification popped up. It was from a contact named Alex. The message preview said, "I can't stop thinking about last night." My heart dropped. I stared at the phone for a few seconds. Maybe I misunderstood, maybe it was something innocent. But deep down, I already knew. My hands were shaking as I picked up the phone. It wasn't locked. The chat opened automatically. And what I saw made my stomach twist. There were dozens of messages. Flirty messages, inside jokes I had never heard before. And then, photos, nothing explicit, but enough to make it clear that something was going on between them. One message from Alex said, "Your boyfriend has no idea, does he?" Emily replied, "No, and he can't find out." My chest felt tight. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. 3 years together, and this is what was happening behind my back. I heard the shower turn off. Panic hit me. I quickly put the phone back exactly where it was and sat down at the table like nothing had happened. Emily walked out a few minutes later, drying her hair with a towel. She smiled at me like everything was normal. "Hey, do you want to order food tonight?" she asked. I looked at her, and suddenly I realized something terrifying. If I hadn't seen that message, I would still think everything was fine. I would still trust her completely, but now every smile felt fake. Every word felt like a lie. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to confront her immediately, but another part of me wanted to see how far this went. So I stayed quiet. The next few days were torture. Emily acted exactly the same as always. She hugged me before work. She kissed me goodnight. She told me she loved me. And every time she said those words, I felt like my heart was breaking all over again. One night she said she had to work late, something about a meeting. But I remembered the messages with Alex, so I made a decision. I followed her. I felt ridiculous doing it, like some jealous detective in a movie. But I needed to know the truth. Emily didn't go to work. She drove to a small cafe on the other side of town. I parked across the street and watched. A few minutes later, a guy walked up to her. Tall, dark hair, he hugged her, not a friendly hug.